Welcome. We get set up here. Hey, look at that. All right. Hey, welcome to the Creative Entrepreneur Show. We are going to be talking about Facebook. Believe it or not, it's a topic we've not talked about in a while, and I'm looking forward to kind of getting into it. In 2021, just understanding what we need to be considering in the new year for 2021 and beyond. And so that will be my topic for this week, and we'll begin in just a moment. And let's begin. And those who come in on the replay, welcome. And here we go. Welcome to the Creative Entrepreneur Show. My name is Rosh. It's so good to have you here. This week, we are talking about Facebook for creative entrepreneurs. And if you would like to ask questions on any topic, feel free to join me noon Eastern Standard Time at rosh.video. We'll take you to the YouTube channel, and that's where we can have a discussion. And this week, we're talking about Facebook for creative entrepreneurs. What do we need to consider? Because there are a few ways to go about Facebook. Facebook is really a multi-dimensional platform. It's not just the college connection system that it originally was, where students would connect, based on just really their main feed, their individual accounts. It is so much more. It has grown so much over the last 15, 16, 17 years or so. It is amazing. However, there is controversy around that too. And I want to address that immediately. When it comes to growing your business, it's, your opinion of the platform really doesn't matter if you want to use it, as part of your growth. If you want to grow, you can't say, well, I don't like Facebook, so other people will not like Facebook, or my customers will not want to be on Facebook. You can't do that. You can't judge your customers how they will want to engage with you. You have to go where they are. And Facebook is a place where there are a lot of people, and you need to consider that as part of your overall program. Even if you are not involved individually, even if you don't have a personal account that you're actively engaged with, you should still consider what is available on Facebook to help you grow. All right, I'm going to take a quick break here. Hey, hello, everyone. We have X Gaming 7 and 99 subs for 2021. Hope that worked out. Let's see, it's 11 p.m. in India. Well, it is 12 o'clock noon where I am in Metro Detroit. So good to see everyone here. Got to continue on with the podcast, but I wanted to say hello to everyone who is wandering in. So when it comes to business, I look at Facebook in terms of three areas to consider. Engagement, which is a large area. A lot of different types of Facebook tools can be used for engagement, and we'll dig down into that in a moment. Open for business, which is quite honestly how most people actually use Facebook, just as an open for business sign. And I'll dig into that in a moment too. Then, of course, the big one, advertising. Advertising is huge on Facebook, but you have to understand the type of advertising that you should do on Facebook. And it's not what you probably think it is. It really is more of a funnel driver. Again, I'll get into that in a moment. Than it is direct sales, which is where you would probably want to use Google for search or something like that. Again, once we'll dig in. So let's just talk about these three. Now, we know one thing: Facebook for friends and family. That's a good place to go. Just to connect. And you say, well, so many people are going over to Instagram, or have gone over to Instagram, or have gone to TikTok now. And, TikTok is it's entertainment based. I'm not connecting with family members so much on TikTok, although you can certainly connect with people there. And you can, so with Instagram, you can certainly connect with people. But Facebook truly is the place for friends and family. As I like to say, grandma is there. She's the one place she wants to go. She wants to see what's going on in your family. And so that's Facebook. And it took a long time to get her there. And now she's there. She's not going over to TikTok, and she's not going to Instagram. She's not going to Pinterest, and she has no need to go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn for business, unless, hey, you never know. Maybe grandma's an excellent entrepreneur, and that's great. And maybe she is over on LinkedIn, but she's probably not talking about family, right? So Facebook is the place to be when it comes to that. Now, when it comes to your business, though, again, those three types. Engagement. Well, engagement in terms of, connecting with people in a way that you build a bond. And that is really important. And that's how you grow. And that's how you get your posts out there, is by encouraging and offering the types of statements or information, or even within your personal feed, that gets engagement. The more likes, the more comments, things like that. The more happens there, the more the algorithms will push it out. And that's true on your Facebook business page also. Your Facebook business page is a tough nut to crack. It really is. And for most, it is a open for business sign. We have a little icon on our website, and then we click on it, or people click on it, go to your Facebook page, see that you're open for business, meaning you've recently posted something, there's some activity there, they like it, and they never go back. And so they know you're open for business. Now they engage with you another way, and will probably never go back to your Facebook page again, unless you're really good. Now, there are Facebook pages that are really good and that do engage, but Facebook, it's not Facebook's goal to get more people engaged with you. It's Facebook's goal to get you so frustrated that you advertise to connect with the people who actually liked your page. And so you only get maybe 1, 2, 3% of the people, once you post on your Facebook page, will actually see your post. So if you have 100 people who liked your business page, well, guess what? 2, 3, 4 of them will actually see it. And now, if you, just like I said before, are really engaging and do get people to come and actually encourage people in a way to build a community, Facebook will start to send your business page information out to other people and to the other people who have liked it, because it's proven. There's a high bar, but I've seen it many times. I've seen many times where a post on a Facebook business page has gone well beyond the number of followers of that page by many times. And it still happens, but it's very hard to do that. And when most people just post to say they're open for business, it's just not going to happen. You're going to have to advertise. You really have to put the time and effort into it. And that's the same with the other ways in which you can engage with people, such as groups. You can build a group around a topic. And if you build a group around a topic, you can really, if you notice, groups do a lot of my personal feed is from the groups that I'm involved with. And so I find groups a really good way to grow a community, much more than a Facebook page. And this has been the case for a few years. It really has. A Facebook page, as far as I'm concerned, is just like many other types of social. You just have it to have it, keep it updated once in a while. But if you really want to build that community and you're serious about it, I would go to a group well before trying to build the Facebook page. So that's what I would consider there for engagement. Now, other ways to engage, of course, you have Messenger and you have stories, really important to keep people kind of up to date on the side, what's going on. Stories are a whole ecosystem unto itself. Many different ways in which you can use Facebook to connect with people, but definitely have a plan around it. Now, if you really just need to connect with people as a business, you probably need to consider advertising. Advertising has gotten more expensive on Facebook than in the past, but you do have to understand that it is about testing, and you don't just set it up and forget it. You have to continuously test ads and test audiences. The secret to to advertising well on Facebook is understanding the audiences and testing multiple audiences. And what you're trying to do is not necessarily a direct sale, but they get them in a funnel. And that funnel could be an email list. You could send them to a free webinar in which you can really pitch your wares, what you do, your product, whatever it may be, and then maybe put them on an email list there or ask for the sale there. That's a possibility. But you have to use Facebook as more of a branding funnel, top of the funnel development system, rather than trying to just go for the sale straight off the Facebook page. It can work. I have seen it, and it really does make a difference if you understand the best way to go about it, because it's more passive advertising than it is direct sales. And passive advertising, quite often, again, has to do with that top of the funnel, people becoming aware of who you are. And look, if you get people to your website, you've engaged them enough or get them interested enough to go to your website or to your landing page, and then you can follow up with, say, people watched so much of your ad or went to your Facebook page. You can follow up with retargeting ads that will follow them around for a while and see if you can't get them back into the funnel and make that final decision. Because usually when you're getting people's attention with Facebook ads, quite often they didn't know they had a problem. Your job in that situation is to let them know they have a problem that you have the solution for. And if they don't know they have a problem, it may take a few rounds, a few touch points for them to say, yeah, this is not a bad idea. I really want this product. I really do want this service. And that's the way you have to use Facebook advertising to get the job done. But understand the key to Facebook advertising, it's audiences and testing. All right, let's see. We have a few more people. Hello, everyone coming in. Your English is weak. I'm so sorry about that, X Gaming. I bet your English is many, 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 many times better than my Hindi, because I have 0. So if that's where you are. I made that assumption because many of my followers do come from India and speak Hindi. Let's see. Hello. Let's see. Arvan. Oh my gosh. Arnava. Arnave. I'm going to go with that. How's that? Am I close? Probably not even close. I'm horrible with names, and I try. With a name like Rosh, I should be more sensitive. Well, I am sensitive to it. I don't like to butcher people's names, but I do sometimes, and my apologies. But thank you for stopping by, and thank you for saying hello. As we move on to the next part of the podcast, what I do is I cut these parts out. I like to acknowledge the folks that wander in and say hello during the show, and then I move on to the next part of the I know you can't pronounce my name because that's fair. Absolutely. I am at a great disadvantage, but thank you for understanding, hopefully. Okay, let's see. Another thing I want to add, of course, is that Facebook is always innovating and finding new ways to connect people, really. Obviously, bots, that's something that's been around for a few years. I've used bots in advertising, and it's not so bad. Collecting information, asking questions, and building a basic relationship to answer a basic question or two, then pass people on to you down the road. Facebook bots, there are a few different systems out there. I've not played with any of them probably in a good year and a half, maybe. So I'm not going to make any recommendations. However, if you would like some of that automated system to at least kick off the conversation with a prospect, at least to qualify people, it's not really a bad way to go, because a simple yes or no answer can make all the difference in the world in terms of your time when engaging with a new possibility, new prospect. Now, one thing that I find really interesting is Facebook's really been getting into AR, augmented reality and VR. I mean, if you have an Oculus, you have Facebook, and it's been interesting. I use my Oculus all the time, and I have the Quest 2, and I love it. And they have AR. If you're interested in using Spark, that's what Facebook uses to help create AR experiences, augmented reality experiences on their platform. Learn how to use that, and that's with their Spark system, Spark AR Studio. And so that is what I would consider. Oh, a quick question is, what does a bot mean? A bot, a robot, a automated robot on Facebook who is going to say, answer a question. Maybe you put a bot out there says, do you like Indian food? There you go. Do you like Indian food? It's just ask certain people based on qualifications. Do you like Indian food? And they say, yes. Oh, well, I have a restaurant that you might like. And then maybe you could send them somewhere. I mean, that's a very simplistic way, but it's an automated response system, really are what bots are. But it gets well beyond that and much deeper. I mean, we speak with bots all the time, whether we know it or not. After a few moments, you start to realize that, like, if you go into a chat, someone, you go to a message chat, sometimes it's a bot that is talking back to you until you're qualified, and then maybe sends you over to another person. But bots are really good for qualifying people, which can save a lot of time. It really can, especially if you have a lot of leads coming in. You want to make sure that the people that have the knowledge and can really close the sale, or whatever the system is, will have those people come to them. So you need to consider that. And sometimes you need to weed that out, and bots can be very beneficial. Okay. So what's another thing? Again, the AR studios, the getting people involved with your brand. I haven't seen as much AR lately, but I mean, you do. I mean, obviously on Snapchat, and of course you see plenty of AR on TikTok, augmented reality. Those are the filters, really, is what that is. I use AR for my business cards. My business cards are actually this business card that I'm holding up. If you use a phone, you just your phone and your camera phone, my business card will start talking to you. So that's really cool. And there are things like that. So hashtags are another thing that seems to be, I'm not quite convinced. I've been hearing that hashtags have been becoming more popular, that hashtags have been used more and more for campaigns on Facebook. I'm not quite as convinced, but I'm going to believe the data until I see otherwise. So consider maybe a unique hashtag, or getting involved in specific hashtags related to your business, and be a part of that community. See, communities can develop out of hashtags. And if you can become a leader or development, or just involved at a high level of a good hashtag community, not a bad way to go. But it needs to be realistic and relevant. And I mean, you have to be truly someone who cares about what it is that is being developed there with that hashtag. All right, let's see. You explain this very, very simple words. Yes, I try to keep things simple. Maybe because I'm simple. I don't know. Well, no, who knows? Okay, let's see. What's the next thing I wanted to discuss? Another thing, of course, is the convenience of online shopping. Especially over the last year, more and more people, I know my family has purchased a lot off of Facebook, and Facebook has been allowing people to, hold on. Yes, you may ask a question. Absolutely, anytime. I'm going to finish this little segment, and then I'll answer your question. Online shopping is something that I've seen a lot more. Over the last year, online shopping certainly has become a big part of our lives, having things delivered to our door. And Facebook certainly has taken advantage of that. I know my family still buys things off of Facebook, whether it's in a group. Sometimes there are groups like local community groups like a free cycle group, like you have something you don't want anymore, and you let people know and say, hey, and they'll say they want it, and you put it on their porch, your porch, and they take it, and it's free. Or there are obviously shopping, you can put something up for sale on Facebook, and some people, some entrepreneurs are getting involved and making a little bit of extra money doing that. And so that's just another way in which Facebook becomes a part of your life and your community. Right now, I'm streaming on YouTube and Facebook in my Facebook business page. Not on my personal site, because this my friends and family probably don't care about this conversation. However, I think it is important to keep engaged on Facebook and keep that community going. All right, let me, I'm going to have to wrap that up a little bit better. Okay, how do we convert a Facebook account to Facebook page? Well, you don't really convert it. You would just open up a Facebook page. So if you have a personal account, you keep that, and then you go to pages, and you'll have an opportunity to open up your own Facebook business page. And so that's how you would do it. So you would have your personal individual account, and then the other one, which could be a business account, or and there are actually a number of different types of pages, and they have actually different layouts for different types of pages. So you can have more than one. You can have multiple pages, which I do for different things. But if you're going to do that, make sure you're focused in on that page, and make sure that you have a plan behind it, and develop a theme. Maybe that's where I'll go with this. Good question. Thank you for asking that. That's kind of helps me with my with the wrapping up this with the podcast. So however you use Facebook, I would recommend, whether you are trying to create engagement in a group, or you want to develop a video presence doing live. Live is huge for specific niches, and people are actually selling through video regularly on Facebook. But you have to have a plan behind it, and I would highly recommend you, just like all social media, have a niche. Have the thing that you are known for. Trying to be everything to everyone is really hard. And believe me, I suffer with that as much as anyone. Doing too many things, trying to be too many things to too many people. I do have an umbrella under which I sit related to certain audiences, but for the most part, it's probably not focused enough. I go from one thing, one area to another. And honestly, it's just what I have to share. Now, there's pluses and minuses to that, but I think the pluses is when you also focus in on Facebook. And if you develop a group and keep it very focused, you're going to have a much more engaged. And that word engage is so important, because if it's a page or a group or whatever it may be, if people are there for a very specific reason, they're more likely to connect and comment and like it. And not only that, come back, which is so important. If you want to get this and any one of the algorithms working for you on social media, if you can get people to come to your page, and not just come back again, and comment and like and share your work, and get conversations moving, you will see a difference. So that's why, if you have a Facebook page, maybe you ask people, hey, I just posted, let people know, and have them come and comment. But make sure it's the right people. Just like all social media, you get people for people's sake is not right. You want the right people, because the right people will like what it is you're doing on Facebook, and the right people will come back for more. People just coming one time is not really going to do you any good. And that's the same with LinkedIn. That's the same with YouTube. Just saying, hey, everybody, come over. And no, that's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you, because you have to remember that, let's say, as I mentioned before, with the page, let's say you have 100 people who've liked your page, and you just got any 100, but maybe there are 10 people who really, really like your stuff. Now, initially, if you got 100 people there, and all things being equal, you post something, well, Facebook is going to use the data it has, but it may not be the right 3 or 4 people that they show it to out of those 100. Because remember, only 2, 3, 4 people will end up seeing it because they only show it to a small percentage. Now, the people that do come back and that do engage will most likely be the ones that they're shown that information to. But it's not going to grow much because the other people are ignoring it. So you get those 3 or 4, eventually those 10 people who are engaged, and maybe you'll grow, but you still have 90 other people who don't care, who like it. So you really want to make sure that the deck is stacked in your favor. Focus in on bringing 10 people who are really engaged and keep them engaged. I'd rather have 10 engaged people on my Facebook page than 100 and only 10 of them being engaged. It makes a difference. Facebook can see it, and they'll just assume, oh, only 10% of the people really like this. Why would we take a risk on that? Again, engagement. Obviously, I'm kind of making it a very simple way of presenting that, but the fact is, it really does mean you need to get activity going on all of your social media. And think about, just like I've said with YouTube, think about what the person who liked your last post, what would they like to see next? What would they most likely engage with next? If you can think that way, rather than putting random stuff up, what would they really care about when you in your next post? That's going to get you much further ahead by having the plan and thinking it through and developing that theme around whatever you use Facebook for. All right, last bit. How can I earn from Facebook? What are the criteria to earn? Oh, let's see. I'll get to that in a sec. Let's see. Sure. Can you earn money through Facebook? Well, you can earn money through Facebook. We have a couple questions about that. Well, you can if you sell stuff on Facebook or sell stuff through Facebook. If you are an influencer at a certain level, there are some programs that you can use, kind of like on YouTube, being an influencer on YouTube or Instagram. Yeah, they reward influencers on Facebook. It's a little tougher to get involved in, but there are opportunities there. I am not involved at that level, so I don't want to misguide anyone into terms of what it is you have to do, because I have not even explored it. I've really focused more on Twitter and YouTube as my main areas. And I like to say it's important to have one core platform to build your brand, build your legacy on. Doesn't mean you can't be involved in the other ones, but you need to have a good core. And it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it could be YouTube. It's up to you, but I would pick one. So yes, you can make money through Facebook. And in many ways, I have made money through Facebook because people have known me through Facebook and then hired me because of the relationship through Facebook. So good question. Just like any of the social media platforms, there are ways to go about it. And when we talk about YouTube and we talk about AdSense, the people who are really making money on YouTube, only a small percentage of the money they make comes from YouTube AdSense. The rest of it is through brand deals. So again, if you have a big audience on Facebook and a brand likes you, well, you can do a brand deal. If people, like what you have to say and you recommend a product, well, then you could maybe do an affiliate. So you just have to consider how you want to make money. And there's just as many ways to make money on Facebook as any other area in which you have influence. And quite often it's partnering with other companies and developing relationships that they're going to do it, more so than depending on the actual social media platform to make money for you. All right. So do we have to make a logo for our Facebook? Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a Bold Buddy. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's a good idea to have branding. A logo is the visual portion of your brand. Your brand is your reputation. And so when people think of your brand or see your logo, well, what do they feel about that? Do they feel good? Oh yeah, I know that person. So yeah, I would have some sort of logo, or it could be your face. It could be your icon, but you should have some sort of design around your Facebook page. I would do that just to make it look professional. That would be my recommendation. All right. I have no idea who that is, but thank you, I guess. He's obviously a good looking guy, right? How funny. All right. All right. I'm going to wrap up the podcast portion and sign off. All right. So that's where we are with Facebook. Facebook is continuously evolving. And I wrote a book on digital marketing, social media for photographers over 10 years ago. And the day that book was released, well, it was obsolete because Facebook probably changed the next day. And it's always changing. It's always evolving. And where things were one day, they're in another place another day. And they're always updating design and for hopefully the user experience. But Facebook is a world full of controversy, but figure out what it is. You don't have to use all of Facebook to take advantage of Facebook to grow your business. Pick the things that you're comfortable with. Know that you can build engagement and community on there, become the expert. If Facebook is the location of your choice, there's a lot of opportunity. Video continues to grow on Facebook, just like the other platforms. Video is really powerful. So consider going live on Facebook, and maybe you can consider develop a community that way, or just upload videos there. But remember, when you upload videos, upload them. Don't take a link from YouTube or somewhere else and put it in Facebook. Everybody likes the video likes the video uploaded organically, and you'll get much more traction if you do that. So that's even true if you use the social media platforms. Do as much as you can organically. You'll get more reach. And remembering that all the platforms, especially Facebook, likes you to stay on Facebook, likes you to bring people into Facebook and build the community on Facebook. So keep people there, keep them coming back. And, you'll probably have a community that you'll be proud of over time. We'll talk to you next week on the Creative Entrepreneurs Podcast. All right, that's it. All righty. Let's see. Let me turn this off. The recording back here. It's done. All right. Any more questions before I go? Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. No? All right. Thank you. Thank you for the love from India. I do appreciate it.